much for that kind introduction. Welcome, everybody, and good morning. We can do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I'd like to begin by thanking our friends here at the University Park Community Center for their graciousness in hosting us. If you work in this wonderful building, would you please stand and accept our thanks for the great work that you do? With the whole family here at the university, please rise and let's give them a big round of applause. And thank you, Matt, and your team. And you know, I come here frequently unannounced just to see what's going on. I'm always impressed when I'm here at the level of activity, at the great customer service, and the work that you're doing. And I'm extremely proud of this community because we touch this area in so many different ways. From the village market that we helped invest in so that low-income people in the New Columbia have healthy food, to the village garden, to the Rosa Parks Elementary School, to the Hope 6, to the new development, to this wonderful center for our community. In myriad ways, we here in Portland Parks and Rec help build community, and I'm so proud of what you do. I'm here today for a simple reason, which is to thank you for the hard work. It's been a very challenging year. As I was looking at the video, and by the way, you might have seen I had a cameo in the video, and when my daughter saw it, her initial reaction was, "Dad, you have a face for radio." As I said, a couple of my friends I was sitting with over here, I said, actually, I'm proof that with good lighting and enough makeup, anyone can be on TV. But it's been a very challenging year, and I was reflecting on the fact that despite the challenges, the people in this room have overachieved. You took on the Summer Free-for-All Challenge during the toughest economy in our lifetime, and we need to update this movie. 370,000 people were served. And here's the statistic I'm really proud of. Folks in this room provided over 100,000 healthy meals to healthy children throughout our community. Let's give that a round of applause. And I'll let you in on some good news today. I was in touch with Daimler, who is one of our prime sponsors, the other day, and if you've been reading that they're getting new orders, they're building new trucks in our community, and they re-up for another year to be our anchor sponsor. It's nice to have headquarter businesses with family-wage jobs in our community, and particularly when they turn around and support good work. You took on the challenge of the E205, which was an idea that just emerged in the last 2 years, and we said that everybody, regardless of where you live, deserves to have access to a park. And folks in this room delivered in record time 2 superb projects, one in Park Lane. And I brought the mayor to that, and the mayor said, "How did you do this so quickly? How did you cut through so much red tape?" And I said, "I lead Portland Parks and Rec, a bureau that gets things done." Could you give yourselves a round of applause for the E205? But those are only some of the most visible things. We set a goal of 1,000 new gardens, Leslie. And while Emily Hicks is still out on maternity leave, we did the math the other day. And if you include all the gardens that people in this room put in and all the things that we touch directly or indirectly in our partners, we've exceeded 1,000 new gardens in our community. That's worth a celebration. We managed a very difficult leadership transition. New leaders at the foundation, a new leader at our own bureau, new leaders in key positions, and we did so without missing a beat. I'll have a word about that in a moment. Lonsdale and Chapman Squares. How interesting that now all of the city knows those were our first parks. That was a very challenging time, and I know everybody in this room has their own view about Occupy Portland, about public spaces, about constitutional rights. Those are important issues, but here's the most important. We try to strike a balance between the rights of people to express themselves and the long-term health and viability of our parks. And we can be criticized for maybe not getting it right, but we will always make sure that our parks have a voice along with everyone else. And I thank everybody who, under very difficult conditions, continue to do the work, and I look forward to bringing back those historic squares to their old grandeur. It was another year where Forest Park was in the news. Sometimes for good reasons, more progress on our action plan, a full-time ranger, investments in the kinds of studies and other information we're going to need to make long-term decisions about the health, including getting the balance right between off-road cycling and other uses. But it was also a year where two of our finest had an interaction with someone that put both of their lives at risk. Kelly and Lionel, would you please stand for a moment? We sometimes forget that the work that we do for our community involves great personal risk. We can debate whether we want our people to have guns or not. I have a strong view, you may have a view, let's have that discussion. But let's not ever forget that the people who serve this city in this bureau take risks. And the reason we have a great system is they're willing to put it on the line. And I visited Lionel when he was in the hospital right afterwards, and one of the things I felt compelled to do was to find words, in effect, to apologize to a young man and his wife who had moved here from another city for a better life. And within 6 months, his introduction to Portland was an attack on his life. We are better than that, but you represent the best of what we have to offer. Let's give them a round of applause, both of them, for their service. We owe an enormous debt to both of these people, but I learned a lot through that experience. And one of the things I learned is that we've got to give our rangers the tools and the support they need to be successful. And so we fought over the last few months over a relatively small amount of money, but here was the principle. I said, when it comes to providing safety and customer service in our downtown parks, I would rather have a ranger who is part of my bureau than a rent-a-cop over whom I have no control. And so thanks to the collective effort of the people in this room, we will be expanding and professionalizing our rangers downtown and being the frontline workers in our parks downtown. So again, thank you to our great team. We acquired the Riverview Cemetery. Now, some people thought we did so that Randy Leonard would have a comfortable place for his resting place. But the truth is, if you go back 100 years and you look at what Olmsted saw a group of natural areas on the west side connected, a whole from Forest Park all the way to Riverview and beyond, saw places that would be in public ownership that would help promote clean air and clean water and places to recreate, but would be the spine of our system. We're the envy of America, and we acquired 160 acres of Riverview, which many of you are working on for the next phase. I'm proud to live in a city that makes those kinds of investments, not for today, but for future generations. I could go on and on with the work that you've done, but I will tell you, whatever those accomplishments were, and as proud as I am, there are two things I'm more proud of. It's called gold and 86. I am most proud of the fact that when we were put up with every other Tier 1 system in America, and we were judged not on the natural beauty of our system, but we were judged on how we manage our system, the people in this room brought home the gold. Let's cheer that again, because that's astonishing. We knew it, and now the rest of America knows it. But in addition to the gold medal, we did another customer survey. And it's not the most scientific survey. We get that. It is what it is. But again, after 3 years of budget cuts, at a time when increasingly people are growing skeptical about the ability of government to deliver on any of its promises, 86% of the respondents said you're doing a terrific job. Congratulations again. There's only one bureau that historically does better than we do, and I'm not sure why, but it's called the Fire Bureau. But it is my hope before I either retire or I'm recalled that Portland Parks and Rec exceeds the Fire Bureau in customer satisfaction in our community. So, two more things I just want to touch on. We're going through a budget exercise which is just hideous. I know many of you have come out to different events. Some of you served on our Budget Advisory Committee, and for that I thank you. Some of you came to the forum we held at Multnomah County, and I challenged a number of you to go beyond expressing our shared concern with the cuts and to give me new ideas. I've received 3 different letters and emails from people in this room outlining new ideas and new thoughts about how we can manage this budget crisis, and for that I thank you. There is not a single cut that has been proposed in this process that I like. And the ones that potentially impact the people in this room, the frontline workers who deliver services, I hate the most. I can only make this commitment to you. We're in the 3rd inning of a 9-inning game. I know how much anxiety this is causing people in this room who are looking at numbers and saying, I could be the next. I get that. I will fight every day to make sure that we get a fair budget. I will not accept a 4%, 6%, and 8% cut simply as an exercise. I do not accept the fact that this is our 4th year of taking cuts. And I believe that the time has come, because we can no longer thin the soup, that we talk candidly to the public about what is really at stake. And there are some cuts on this list that are shocking Portland. But that is because, unlike prior years, we're not asking you to do more with less. We are actually telling the public that we cannot continue to provide services. And they are either going to join us in fighting for this system, or we are at risk of going from a gold medal system to a bronze medal system. This is the year we're going to find out how much truly Portlanders love and care about their system. And if they are as outraged as I am about some of these proposed cuts, and if we work together over the next 6 months, well, 4 months, perhaps we can come through this in a better place. But the commitment that Mike Abate and I have made is we will fight every day for our interests, your interests, our interests. We will fight to keep layoffs and cuts among our professionals to a minimum. We will look to shift to programs which are our lowest rated. We will make the tough political calls. But I remind you, we're in the 3rd inning of a 9-inning game. Until we see what the new data is in terms of business license fee revenue and some other data, we won't know in how bad a shape we are. But I will be your champion at the budget table. Let's keep faith and let's work together on this, and let's hope for the best. So let me conclude by saying that I understand someone has a birthday in this room. And you know, I've only been working with Mike Abate now for several months. You know it's a tough job when he took the job and went out for 2 months. It was so stressful, after 2 weeks he left for 2 or 3 months, and he came back with his arm in a sling. I mean, this job is a killer. But I'm very pleased and proud that Mike took on this assignment. We've had great leadership at this Bureau, and I believe that in Mike Abate we're poised to continue a great tradition. And I look forward to working with Mike for many, many years. Would everyone join me in a round of happy birthday to Mike Abate? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike Abate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mike. And to my friends in this room, again, many thanks. And to those of you who think that you have a good idea that we haven't thought of, or a criticism you'd like to share with me directly, please remember, some of you don't need reminding, but for the rest of you, it's nickfish, one word, at portlandoregon.gov. Nickfish, one word, at portlandoregon.gov, and that comes directly to your commissioner's computer, and you'll get my personal response. I welcome your criticism. I welcome your suggestions. Together, we will get through this storm. Thank you very much.